Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Yes, it's official. Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders. Let's just break it down. According to Michael Benson, Talk Sport, and ESPN, Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders have reportedly now reached an agreement to fight on May 2nd in Las Vegas. It's claimed that an announcement should come within the next 24 hours. Billy Joe Saunders is the WBO super middleweight champion, and he is going to have that title on the line against Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is making his second appearance at 168 pounds. His first appearance at 168 was him defeating and stopping Rocky Fielding in the first round. Now, we got to look at it honestly and objectively. Canelo Alvarez is coming down from 175 pounds to 168 pounds. So, he's moving down in weight. He just took on Sergey Kovalev, which was an excellent bout where he stopped Sergey Kovalev. So we see that Canelo Alvarez is looking to fight world champion after world champion. Billy Joe Saunders is no slouch. He can box. He's a tricky southpaw. He's going to have a height and reach advantage over Canelo Alvarez. This should be an excellent matchup of two top-level fighters, two world champions, two elite-level fighters getting it on. This is a style that many people said Canelo Alvarez would never face, that Canelo Alvarez would duck this type of competition, and yet he is not looking to turn away from it, shy away from it, or duck it. Canelo Alvarez literally wants all the smoke, and Billy Joe Saunders is looking to be great by fighting Canelo Alvarez. This is two great fighters. They're both in their prime. Neither one of these guys are old. Both in their prime. Both are skillful fighters. So it should make for an excellent fight. Now, one thing I don't like is a lot of fanboys are already coming out hating on the matchup, saying, oh, Billy Joe Saunders is going to get robbed. He hasn't even fought one round of the fight and people are already claiming robbery. It goes back to the Idislandi Lotta fight with Canelo Alvarez. People said Lotta got robbed when really Lotta stopped throwing punches after the 6th round. It's just funny to me that people always want to claim robbery. People claim Danny Jacobs got robbed by Canelo Alvarez. It's a myth. Canelo Alvarez won that fight clear and concisely. I think at the end of the day, you can't listen to people who say that, oh, Billy Joe Saunders is going to get robbed. He's down on the cards already. That's fanboy nonsense and rhetoric. We understand that, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G had two very close fights that could have went either way. So no one's ever going to dispute that. But to assume automatically that every fight Canelo Alvarez in is some kind of robbery or there's always some shady business is nonsense. At the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez is an elite level fighter who's earned where he was. He beat Danny Jacobs clear and convincingly. He beat Sergey Kovalev clear and convincingly. And, at the end of the day, when he even fought Triple G in the second fight, it was a close competitive fight, but Canelo Alvarez looked miles improved, and even by the national media gave him, credit for that fight. So, at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez, if he's in a close fight, fanboys and haters are always going to call that a robbery. So there's nothing you can do about that when you have people that are uneducated and that are not trying to see the sport for what it is. These are two fighters trying to be great. Billy Joe Saunders is a terrific fighter, undefeated world champion, and Canelo Alvarez is one of the best fighters in boxing today. He is the face of boxing. He is number one pound for pound, and Billy Joe Saunders wants to be great and take that throne. You can't get a better matchup than this. I think the fight is going to be competitive. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be close at times, but I personally believe that, if Billy Joe Saunders tries to engage, he may end up getting stopped in this fight. I think Billy Joe Saunders' best bet is to try to box Canelo Alvarez from the outside, but unlike guys like Idislandi Lotta who can't win a decision against Canelo because he's not active enough. You have to have activity. You can't throw one shot and run the whole round. So what Billy Joe Saunders is going to have to do is he's going to have a high work rate. If he sits in the pocket, it's going to be too much. I think Canelo Alvarez is going to look to wear him down mid to late rounds. It's how he's going to slow Billy Joe Saunders down. But Billy Joe Saunders is a very game and dangerous opponent, and one thing I notice about Billy Joe Saunders, he always tends to rise to the occasion, when he ups his level of competition, hence the David Lemieux fight, hits the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. So you see that Billy Joe Saunders is a very good fighter. Canelo is as well, and this should make for an amazing fight. But once again, Unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.